Welcome to the Gay Daddy Reviews. Brokeback Mountain made a deep impression upon me. Stupid deep. I saw the film 4 or 5 times in the theater, read the short story, the screenplay, bought the soundtrack, the corduroy jacket, the jeans, the boots, grew the sideburns and the mustache. I don't know why. Maybe it was the year, the season, the place, the boyfriend, or a lack of one, or maybe Brokeback Mountain is simply brilliant heroic romance. Jake Gyllenhaal brings the heart, Heath Ledger the ache in Ang Lee's Brokeback Mountain. Jake Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal. This is where his career truly began. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Jack Twist. Jack Twist believes happiness is possible for 2 gay men. Jack's idea of a perfect heaven is crystal clear. In their most perfect moment, Jack tells his lover, Ines Del Mar, played by Heath Ledger, "You know, it could be like this, just like this, always." But Ines believes that they must remain hidden from society. Otherwise, they are dead men walking. From the very first moment, we see Jake as Jack. He's wearing a black cowboy hat. He's the classic femme fatale, and as the femme fatale, Jack twists Ines' perceptions about love and leads Ines on an emotional journey that very well may end in both their deaths. It's 1963 in Signal, Wyoming. Ines Del Mar and Jack Twist find summer jobs as shepherds on Brokeback Mountain. Jack is a talkative cowboy who's done some rodeoing, but gets no respect from his father or the men around him. While Ines can hardly put 2 sentences together. Ines had to drop out of high school after his parents died. On Brokeback Mountain, they've each been given jobs. One stays at the base camp and prepares the meals, while the other protects and sleeps with the sheep, unprotected from the weather. There's not much else to do except smoke cigarettes, drink whiskey, and eat beans, but their relationship deepens by the campfire. And one very cold night, they find themselves huddling together for warmth. And it is in this cramped little tent sheltering from a storm that their desire sparks an undying flame. And one of the hottest, most intense quick fucks on film. It will take your breath away. The next morning, Ines tells Jack, "I'm no queer," and Jack replies, "Me neither." Their desire, though, doesn't care what they call themselves, because they do it again and again and again. But when a blizzard cuts their summer short, both are deeply heartbroken as they must go their separate ways. They get wives, children, and the other trappings of heterosexual domesticity. 4 years later, Jack drives 14 hours from Texas to visit Ines in Wyoming. Jack urges Ines to divorce so they can set up a ranch together. But Ines, traumatized by his violent, homophobic father, is tormented by fear and shame. I'll stop with the plot details there. Brokeback Mountain is based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel short story by Annie Proulx and adapted for the screen by Diane Osana and Pulitzer Prize winner Larry McMurtry. Larry McMurtry is an American novelist, with a gift for loneliness and heartache in the West. Check out The Last Picture Show, for which he wrote the screenplay based on his novel. Brokeback Mountain was directed by my favorite director, Ang Lee. My favorite Ang Lee films include The Life of Pi, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sense and Sensibility, Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, The Wedding Banquet, also a gay love story, and The Ice Storm, which has staggering performances all around. I highly recommend The Ice Storm, one of his lesser-known films. As with The Ice Storm, Ang Lee has drawn out great performances from his entire cast, which includes Anne Hathaway, Michelle Williams, David Arbor, Anna Faris, and Linda Cardellini, who is quite frankly astonishing in her small role as Cassie. But first and foremost, Ang Lee collaborated with Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger to create 2 towering, iconic characters, Jack Twist and Ines Del Mar. Mr. Ledger disappears beneath Ines' skin, and his screen performance ranks with the best of Marlon Brando, Ian McKellen, and Sean Penn. But for me, the heart of Brokeback Mountain is Jake Gyllenhaal's Jack Twist. Jack fucking Twist, as Ines enduringly calls him, is the dreamer, the romantic. We understand why Ines is torn up inside. Jack's softer and hopeful. Jack believes love can conquer all. But Ines remembers what he saw as a boy and says about their forbidden love, "This thing gets hold of us at the wrong time and wrong place and we're dead." And he's not wrong. Brokeback Mountain is set in Wyoming in 1963. Brandon Teena was murdered in Nebraska in 1993. Matthew Shepard was murdered in Wyoming in 1998, and God knows how many others. Losing your life over gender identity or sexual orientation is not just a plot device. Annie Proulx, who wrote the original short story, said in an interview with a Wyoming paper that Brokeback Mountain is not a story about two cowboys. It is a story about two inarticulate, confused Wyoming ranch kids in 1963 who have left home and who find themselves in a personal sexual situation they did not expect, understand, nor can manage. Their lives are torn between the freedom they experience on Brokeback Mountain and the repressed American society in which they are forced to live. Since the release of Brokeback Mountain, queer representation on screen and behind has increased substantially, and now we have series like Love Victor, Pose, Disney movies with LGBTQ+ characters, and Moonlight went on to do what Brokeback Mountain could not and become the first ever queer movie to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards. And then Green Book followed Moonlight. The one thing I will say is I do believe a homosexual director would have made a more truthful, sexually honest film. Lee Daniels was originally set to direct Brokeback Mountain, and he said when Jack and Enos first had sex in the tent, he saw that scene and how he would direct it. So he just couldn't imagine any other filmmaker doing it justice, especially a straight filmmaker taking it on. He waited 15 years to see Brokeback Mountain because a straight man directed it, and he didn't want to see the scene ruined. Once Lee Daniels finally saw the film, he said Ang Lee's sexuality actually helped the film achieve the success it has, and he thinks the film is excellent. Ang Lee, he says, did the sex scenes in such a way that was palatable for many heterosexuals around the world. Lee Daniels says he would have been more in your face with it. I would love to see the Lee Daniels version. Can we have a remake, please? Pretty please? In conclusion, Brokeback Mountain is quite simply one of the Gay Daddy Review's top 5 films of all time, and I give it 5 stars. The love story of Enos Del Mar and Jack Twist is nothing short of heroic. If you've never seen Brokeback Mountain, I envy you. And if you have, check it out again. I've been rewarded upon each viewing of this epic romance. As I've said, I'm a little more than obsessed. And also check out my review for Morris, another forbidden gay romance. I'll be delivering reviews of new and classic LGBTQ+ movies and series weekly. So hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, always remember, living well.